All right. Let's look at this kingdom. So we've got no draw. We got Denizen for draw, I guess. We've got Lost Arts, which you can put plus action on a pile. Normally the key thing to put it on is terminal draw cards, but we got none of those. You could just put it on like Jester or something to get it, turn it into a non-terminal attack. We've got Inheritance, which is interesting. You could inherit like Walled Village or something. This is a weird one. Trader is such a terrible trasher. I'm kind of inclined to just ignore it and try to get to Inheritance ASAP. And rather than trasher estates, just turn them into something of value. And that'll probably involve double silver as the opening. Looks like Steph agrees, I think. Okay, so down here I've got 7 cards. If I buy Denizen, I'll see all 7. Is that enough to hit 7? I've got 4 coppers and a silver. It's not enough. So buying Denizen will only hit me 6. So I should buy spices, which still doesn't hit me 7. In fact, if I draw on 1 more of the coppers and 1 less of the estates, I could hit 7 here. But well, that didn't happen. Another spices or Denizen this time. I like the Denizen a little bit better long term for my deck, and I think I'll be able to hit 7 either way. I'm surprised he got Denizen turn 3. I think Spices was a better turn 3 buy because it gives you a pretty decent risk of hitting 7 immediately. Maybe he doesn't value Inheritance as much as I do. I'm going to inherit now. I got 2 estates coming up, and I think I just turn them into walled villages. Seems like the best thing here. Make them cantrips. Basically just gets the estates out of the way. Alright, okay, so he's going straight into trade route. I'll probably take that next here, but to trash the coppers. I just wanted to get a fast Inheritance off. We'll see if trade route was the better play. Oh, well, he's got Inheritance now too. So I could spin the extra coffer, hit 7, and just buy a 5 and an estate for extra points. That seems kind of silly this early in the game. I could do 5, like a Denizen plus a Lurker. Kind of like that a little bit more. Lurker's a little bit of an awkward card because if you have it, your opponent kind of has to get it. If you're the only one with it, you can trash a card and then next time you draw your Lurker, gain it again. If they get a Lurker too, it kind of counters that because what they can do is, you know, they'll just hold on to the Lurker, and if you put a card in the trash with your Lurker, they'll just take it out before you can get it. And so Lurker's normally only good in 2s, but if you get 1, it kind of forces your opponent to get 1 too, because getting another Lurker is the counter to one person having a Lurker. So I kind of just at least wanted to put a little pressure on him to also take a Lurker, which he's not. And so I will try to take advantage of that now by putting something of value in the trash. What do I value most? I don't need a second trading post. These don't seem important to me. Which one's stronger, Jester or Legionary? Well, probably Jester because I don't have a gold. Legionary's attack only hits with a gold, so I'll trash that. And we'll buy... I don't need a trade route, I don't think. I'm just going to trash with trading post. Could get a second Lurker. Walled Village is useless because I could just buy the estate. Take a second Lurker, I guess. I don't think I want more than those. They do start to, you know, gum up your deck because they don't draw. But I don't mind having some cards that can game me a bunch of Jesters. I'll put Lost Arts on Jester eventually. In the short term, I still have these, which are functionally walled villages. Okay, I want more plus buy, I think. And I want more draw. What did he inherit? Surely he inherited walled village. I didn't actually check. I just kind of assumed that he would do the walled village because it made sense and he's a good player. Yeah, he inherited walled village. It would have been pretty silly if I took the Lurker thinking he was uncontested and all of his estates were actually Lurkers. I'm going to play the Lurkers first, or I guess 1 Lurker first, so that Jester goes into the discard before I trigger the shuffle. So I have a better chance of seeing it soon. Just take another Jester. I want more draw. As is usual, Steph just tends to feel a little bit ahead. Not sure where that happened. Maybe the trading post before the inheritance was the better play. Got a curse in? That's not bad. I can take these last two Denzis in, I think. Maybe I should take a trade route now. They're starting to get worth something. Any pilots? I don't see a pilot. So I think we got a majority of the Denzis in, which is something. So is he going to go straight for provinces or take Duchy Duke? I haven't really thought about that. Both of them seem plausible. That's probably what he's contemplating right now. I'm going to guess he takes province. Province spices. Or maybe it's just too early from the green. Maybe like Lost Arts on Jester by Jester. Lost Arts on Jester by spices. Just Jester spices. It's possible he just keeps building. Jester province, interesting. That, I don't know, he seems like he needs plus buy. I would have taken other spices. I'll take another Jester. Nonetheless, I do seem to be behind. I'm not hitting 14 the way he is. What do I take now? I can just put Lost Arts on Jester. Or I can just buy some estates to cover the villages. So if he's getting to provinces faster, I should probably consider just going for Duchy Duke instead. Because that draws out the game a bit longer. Ooh, silver is like one of the worst things for Jester to hit. Because if it's a card that's really bad, you just give it to your opponent. If it's a card that's really good, you just take it. And silver is one of those cards where you just kind of have to deliberate. You're like, do I really want a silver? Do I not? And so whether he gets it or I gets it, or I get it, it's not going to be hugely influential. My guess is he'll take it. This is not really a strong enough kingdom where you're trying to like avoid silvers at all costs. But I wouldn't be surprised if he just passed it to me either. But yeah, I'm kind of... Oh, he gave it to me. Okay. Yeah, I don't disvalue silver as much as I normally would here. Some point soon I'll probably trash these lurkers again. They get me Jesters, but eventually, you know, I'll value having a clean deck more than I value the ability to get more Jesters. That short-term benefit. So probably next chance I get, I could just trash the lurkers to the trade route. Not the trade route, actually the trade route too, but the trading post was what I was like envisioning. Yeah, now he's getting spices, that makes sense. Well, I can't play all of these. I'll take spices very much. Trade route, trading post. Probably just trash 2 coppers still. Two more spices. I like where this puts me with the province pile. Like, I have enough coffers stored up that I could just contest provinces, I think. Well, he has 2 in the lead, so maybe Duchy Duke is still better for me. Discarding Dennis in. It's not wonderful because I can't gain it, but at the very least, it's off the top of his deck, which is kind of good. So here's where I have to decide, I think. Duchy Duke or province. I think longer favors me. which inclines me towards Duchy Duke. The only question is maybe, is that so weak that I just can't get it running in time? The other concern is I guess the spices pile is kind of low and it'll probably run out. And so there's a problem of if I take duchies, I can't take all 8 duchies or the game will end before I even get to dukes. Maybe I just take province? The spice pile thing I think worries me enough. I'm very worried about just losing on a 3 pile before I get enough dukes. His Jesters are hitting a lot of silvers. Now he's decided he wants them. Ooh, that's a lot. Province, double estate. Yep. About to have a good turn at least. Put another Jester in the trash. Still the card I value most. The occurrence is, it's something, but at this point in the game, discarding the province from the top of his deck is also a pretty big benefit to him. I think just double province and hope that he can't. I think that's probably my best play right now, right? And if he can double province, I think I'm just lost anyway. I do have, that's helpful. He'll give me the Lurker for sure, yeah. But like I said, getting the Lurker, which is a long-term bad thing, is probably not worth more than discarding the Lurker, meaning I don't have to draw it. My guess is he'll probably take the gamble and do province estate and hope I can't hit 13. Maybe he plays it safe and does 2 duchies. Because if I can hit 16, double duchy is losing. If I can hit 13, single province is losing. And I imagine he's just trying to estimate what my deck does. Why did he spend 2? That didn't make any sense. Yeah. I think he's going to ask for an undo. Yeah, so he put 12 money into play. I think he was thinking he had enough to buy province and 2 estates, but he forgot he didn't have 3 buys to do that. Okay. So now that's enough to win, right? Yeah, that's enough to win. That extra estate, I think, would not have mattered anyway. Okay, that was it. That was a toughie. Close one.